hello. Didn't see you there. Just kidding. I knew you were there the whole time. So, this is what we're going to be doing right now. So right now I'm waiting on, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's right there. The swing, I'm waiting on the putty and the glue and everything to dry so that we can sand it down and paint it. So while we're waiting on that, what we're going to do is we're going to do something else. We're going to work on this. So this is, I don't know if you can tell or not, but this is an aluminum, basically it's an aluminum like box, maybe, kind of, I don't know. But it's a frame that was a sign, like a business sign, you know, that like goes out by the street and you can see it like from, you know, far away. I don't know, there was no sign on it. There was like some aluminum sheets on the inside where there were some light sockets for fluorescent light bulbs to go into. I took all that out and pretty much didn't really have a use for it, and I was like, I can do something with this, I just don't know what. So I decided to make a table, like kind of a work table slash desk thing that opens up. So I built this kind of just goofing off one day. It's really tight with all the screws and everything, but anyways, it'll serve its purpose. So this is my handy dandy little prop here. But so that's one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna build. We're gonna cut. We're gonna cut some separator dividers, I guess, if you will. We're gonna cut some of those, and we're gonna basically just kind of frame it out and put little dividers and stuff inside of it, just to section it off so I can have, you know, like a little small section for like drill bits or Allen wrenches or whatever, and then one for like screws and whatever and parts for different things that other things, I don't know, tools, whatever, you know. So nothing fancy. But that's what it's gonna be. So like I said, this is nothing too fancy at all. Like I said, this was just left in here by the previous owners of this shop in my house. It was in here, so like I didn't want to scrap it because, like I said, I could use it for something. So I put it to good use, and I built some legs, 4x4 posts. This is just 1/2 inch plywood that I've doubled up right here. I don't know if you can see this, but this is 2 sheets right here, or 2 pieces that I've put together. And then I took it's on casters, but I got to get some different ones because the casters that are, the swivel casters are on this side, and like fixed casters are on this side, and they're facing the wrong direction because the wood wasn't wide enough. So I'm gonna have to get some different casters for the other side so that it swivels all the way around. I can twist it and turn it, do what I got to do. So I'm not going to turn it because I don't want to embarrass myself with the lack of cool casters that I didn't have at the time. But there's a big hinge, one of the long hinges on the back, obviously, it's screwed to the aluminum, and then of course to the wood to allow it to hinge. I don't have to explain the hinge, you know what a hinge is. So anyways, but yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I did this same thing I did on the bottom so that nothing can fall in the, cause if you could see the inside, you would know what I was talking about. If I didn't do this, because there's a lip that goes all the way around the inside on the top and the bottom. This lip right here goes all the way around. So I had to put a piece of plywood on the inside, on the bottom, to kind of hold everything from falling in that little lip and getting caught down in there. So sorry, something just flew in my eyeball. Anyways, so we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna be just putting some dividers in here. Not really particular on any design. I'll probably just put a couple of, maybe 2 or 3 little dividers in here. I'm thinking maybe one long one across the top, or across maybe the front. Yeah, I'll put a long one here in the front, and then 2 short ones this way, and that'll give me 4 dividers where I can put different parts and different stuff. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna use, I luckily have some scrap leftover plywood from that, so we're just gonna use that. So yeah, stay tuned. With all the noise and sound. Oh, probably help I plugged it up. Air compressor's gonna run, probably. That's what it looks like. So disclaimer, I just plugged everything back in, my table. I just plugged my table back in, and air compressor kicked right on, which probably means I have a leak in the air compressor somewhere. Probably the little air hose hookup thingy, the blower, whatever you call that thing. So when it shuts up, we'll continue. I'll wait. I have this piece laid around. We're gonna rip it to 8 inches. It's like 8.5 or something like that now. So we're gonna rip it to 8 inches, and this is gonna be one of the back sections that's gonna separate the different back sections. So this is gonna be from front to back, but I'm gonna have a long piece in front of it for that front section, and this is gonna be one of the long ones. So I've explained that now in 4 different ways, and I don't really know why. This goes in the scrap pile, which is over there. Excuse me. We can edit that out later. Alright. Okay. Alright, so we've predetermined the length that we're going to use. This is a 16-inch board. It was already 16 inches is the one I had laying around. So we're gonna cut one more this same length, this 16 inches, and then we are going to make a 46, and I think it was 46 and 3/8. I think it was the length that we need. So we're gonna do 1/16 and 1/46 and 3/8. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Measure twice, cut once. If you don't have a pencil sharpener, like the old school, pencil sharpener, if you don't have one of those, you're a loser. I'm not really sure what the purpose of the vacuum cleaner is, because dust still gets everywhere, so, whatever. So, I had, basically, I had like a 50-inch piece. I think it was like 50 by 18, so I was able to strip 8-inch pieces out of it, and then I had some left. I'm gonna have left over, so this is gonna be my other 16-inch piece out of this piece. So my goal is to have, obviously I'll have plenty left over, so if I want to in the future add more sections, I can definitely do that. So that's a good thing about having a lot of scrap laying around, is I've got plenty. Got plenty of scrap. So one way you can do it is measure this piece and measure this piece, or you could just simply trace it. Lay it on top and trace it. Which is kind of cheating, if you ask me, but it's not. It's going to be here in the shop. It's going to be mine. It's not going to be like, it doesn't have to be beautiful. So an important thing, you probably already know this, maybe you do, maybe you don't, but a very important thing when using any kind of saw is to remember which side is going to be your, how can I say, so from this line to the end here is 16 inches. Let me back up a little bit. 16 inches right here. I want to put the blade, I'm going to lay it in here in the miter saw. I want to make sure that my blade, the right side of my blade is on the left side of my line. That way, this line from here on is a true 16 inches. If I cut it in the middle, it won't be 16 inches. It won't match that piece. It'll be just a little short, which is going to put you off square. So obviously, you want to make sure that you're cutting on the right side of your line or the left side of your line, depending on which piece where your measurement is, basically. So again, that's one of those little tips that people may or may not know, or maybe if you're new to woodworking, that can kind of help you out. A perfect fit. Okay, so now we got to see how it fits. Put the notches right here that are way way bigger than they should have been. But it's fine. Alright, fits pretty good actually. Fits pretty good. Alright, and then we're going to basically just kind of fill these in. And I could notch these as well, but I'm not really sweating it. It's going to sit just like that right there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's pretty much how it's going to sit. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to glue and nail these pieces onto this longer piece, and then fit it in there, make it all nice and pretty like. And that's it. We'll be done. So, yeah. Okay, so next step, what we're going to do is, like I said, so I did go ahead and notch these just to make them more pretty. I don't know. No reason really. But next step, we're going to measure out kind of where we want the shelves to, where we want the separators, the dividers to sit. So I like even numbers. So this is 46 and 3/8 ish. So I like to split things up personally. So in this situation, what you would do is if you have two dividers, you want to divide. You're gonna have two dividers, but you're gonna have 3 sections. So you want to divide your length by 3, by how many sections you're gonna have, not by how many dividers you're gonna have. Because obviously by 2, you're only gonna cut it in half, which will be, in here, like in the 23, 24 inch area. So, it'd be like right here somewhere. So you do it by 3, that way you get 3 sections. Kind of a math thing. So some people may or may not know that. And 46 and 3/8 off the top of my head, I don't have a clue what is. So we're gonna do some simple, real quick math. We're gonna go ahead and just use 15, and we'll say 15 and have to be closer to 15 and a half, I think. Again, we're using Gorilla Glue. I think, in my opinion, Gorilla Glue it works good. It's inexpensive. I'm sure that the other Tight Bond, I think is what it's called. I'm sure it works fine. I've had this bottle for a while, and it is. I mean, I'm like right here, so I barely use glue, hardly ever. I probably should use glue more often. I just don't really use it often. So, but I'm going to show you why I use Gorilla Glue, because I can hold this right here for just a few seconds. It's already hard to move this board. It's already hard to slide it. So it's been maybe not even 10 seconds yet. So, I mean, that's why I use Gorilla Glue. It works quick. I mean, it holds its bond pretty fast. By the time I'm done with this one, gluing and holding this one up, this one will be ready where I can lay it down and nail it. So we're just going to split the difference on this one. Make sure your notches are all on the same side. That's important. Just noticed that myself. Thank God it was good to go. And you just kind of use your finger to get it where you want it. Make sure that you make sure you're flush on the bottom. And I ripped all this piece the same with my table saw, so it should all be, theoretically speaking, it should all be 8 inches wide. So I'm gonna let that set up for just a second, and then we're gonna nail it. So that glue's already dry. So this is gonna be interesting. So all I'm gonna do is just gonna lay it down, and I'm gonna staple it, and we're gonna see how the glue held up. So, or I'm gonna nail it. Sorry, not staple it. I'm gonna nail it with my good old-fashioned. Oh, and I have Porter cable, or air stuff for the most part. They're all Porter cable, honestly, because Porter cable is cheap and it works great. I've had this nail gun for about 6 months, maybe. Never had a single issue out of it. And this one, it shoots 1 inch all the way up to 2 inch. I'm sorry, I think it does 3/4. No, that's wrong. It does 1 inch all the way up to 2.5 inch. So, I mean, that's a pretty, you don't really think about the different size nails that there are, but there's a lot of different size nails. And this one does most of them. So, like I said, I have Porter cable. I've got like a staple gun that is really good for hanging up like pegboard or whatever. And then I've got a another kind of staple. I don't know what that is, but they're like one of the, I think they're called U-bolt or U-staples or U something. They're U-shaped, obviously. So, yeah. So we're going to set this down, see what it looks like. Okay, that one fell, but that one fell, and actually they both fell. But they held pretty quick for something that I've only had on here for a minute. Held pretty good, and dried relatively quickly. And there it is. So not 100%. Like I said, that glue, it was only for like, really, it was only like, what, a minute and a half, maybe, give or take. So that was pretty good for just a minute and a half worth of glue. So I mean, the glue was just more of a test than anything, I guess. Those make me nervous. I missed. Okay, that one's good. Yeah, I missed on that that one right there. Probably see it right there. Just barely missed. Not a big deal. Don't really care. So again, we're just gonna set this in here like that. Slide it all the way down. There it is. Like a glove. All right. So those are just in there. They're not fastened down. That way I can move it around. What I may do is shoot a screw from the bottom, or shoot a screw or two from the bottom just to fasten them down so they don't move. I don't know yet. It's not really that big of a deal to me whether they move or not. I don't really care personally. I might do though another section and split that front section into two and put another cross member here in the front, and that way I'll have 5 chambers, and it'll also be it'll give this some structure to not move. So again, it's not really a big deal, but if we do, we'll do it later. I'm not really sweating right now, but I wanted to get that done. Give this swing some time to dry off still, with all the putty and stuff. So, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe you learned something. Hopefully you did. Drop a comment. We'll catch you next time. Peace out.